WWE's most watched PLE of 2025 has been revealed. A tag team in the WWE have broken up. Find out who soon. And we have more scrap plans from TNA Slammiversary at the weekend. Find out what they are very soon indeed. The numbers are in, everybody. Between January the 1st and June the 30th this year, we can exclusively reveal, even though someone else said this a few days ago, but don't listen to them, listen to us. The Royal Rumble of 2025 is officially the most watched PLE of 2025 from WWE, beating out both nights of WrestleMania 41. Quelle surprise, as the French might say.
Oh, now this is per Netflix via its recently released What We Watched report. What We Watched listed the following viewerships for the PLEs. We've got Royal Rumble 2025, 3 million. Elimination Chamber 2025, 1.9 million. WrestleMania 41 Night 1, 2.4 million. Night 2, 2.8 million. Backlash 1.5 million. Money in the Bank 1.6 million. And Night of Champions, 1 million. I thought that might be a little more just because of one match on there. CM Punk versus John Cena. I thought it might have been a little tiny bit more than that.
A few people boycott that show.
Could do.
For particular reasons. These numbers do not include viewerships in the United States as Peacock, rather than Netflix, still stream those PLEs domestically, which you'll know if you're over there. We don't over here because we have everything on Netflix. It's a wonderful
thing. It's good, isn't it?
It's lovely, isn't it?
Oh, it sure
lovely,
is. Yeah.
Lovely. January the 6th episode of Raw, the debut on Netflix, is still the most watched show across the company. Full stop. 6.9 million global views, so the best by some distance. Between January and June, Raw's lowest global audience, according to this What We Watched report, was 2.7 million on the 23rd of June.
Still not that bad, is it?
Not bad at all, is it?
2.7 million is pretty good. Are you surprised by Royal Rumble being the top one? I don't think I am, in terms of just because it was the first PLE on Netflix, and also sort of like the start of John Cena's PLE farewell tour thing, so I think a lot of people tune in. Also, like, I've got a lot of friends who aren't even into wrestling, and you usually hear this as well, like the Royal Rumble is something that like lapsed fans tend to come back to and watch regardless anyway, because it's just a bit of fun. Sometimes there's the nostalgia pops and stuff for the entrants that come in as well. Beating out WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2, though?
I think you've covered every single facet of that outlook on there, Andrew. And I've got nothing else to add.
What about Night 2? What about Night 2 of WrestleMania just in terms of John Cena versus Cody Rhodes?
I reckon there's a point to be made whereby if you were a fan before Netflix, and if you're a fan because of Netflix, you got used to what it was, and either it was for you or it wasn't for you. So just the fact that we were sort of 4 months in, maybe at that point, 3 and a bit, 4 months, that kind of time scale, I reckon that will have a big effect on the overall viewership there. The Rumble, it's still a brand new. What could it be? What we're going to see?
Exactly, that's it, isn't it? Yeah, just you see like bars always have it on and stuff as well, and people go and watch it. It's just something that always tends to bring people back in, really.
The Rumble.
Rumble.
Right, more More scrapped plans for Slammiversary. Words are easy. Of course, this morning we talked about AJ Styles and potential scrap plans for him over the weekend. Now we have ones involving John Bradshaw Layfield, Andrew.
Yes, we certainly do. He was originally planned to be involved at Slammiversary there. Speaking on something to wrestle with, he said, last night at the show, I was supposed to be there initially, and I was originally supposed to have really a part that people wouldn't have believed how big it was.
He was going to be AJ Styles. That's what I've learned there. AJ Styles comes out, move aside, Leon Slater, and then out comes JBL, clothesline from hell, 1, 2, 3.
I'd have loved that. No, would I?
I don't know if you would you?
I don't know. He goes on to say that did not work out. The reason that got ended in TNA, it wasn't because of me, it was a decision made by someone that was no longer there. And then, plans were ultimately changed. However, as TNA changed their minds, although it was noted that the change of plans was not because of a decision made by TNA President Carlos Silva or Tommy Dreamer.
It should be said, because you go back to last year and JBL was just rocking up in TNA and, of course, other promotions around the world, notably Mexico, just clotheslining people.
And then I remember sort of like maybe 6 months or so ago, people on the internet being like, what is this all about? Because he keeps, as you mentioned, Mexico, you got GCW as well that he was turning up in and just clotheslining people and then leaving, and people were sort of starting to speculate that perhaps it was all part of a bigger storyline that was going to culminate in something, but until that point it didn't really make much sense.
No, because it looked like it was going to be done here at Slammiversary, but he says they changed their mind, and that was it. JBL says he got in really good shape for it, and have just changed their mind, and that's their prerogative, he ends the quote with. So fair enough, TNA. But it wasn't the guy who's running TNA who made the decision. Very strange.
Very strange indeed. Do you think they'll come back to this at some point, or do you think that's it, scraps?
I don't know, because he says the person that said that, the cancellation thing, is no longer there, and what they changed to it never happened. So they've said no and then changed, and not done the new thing either.
Yeah.
Very strange.
It's very strange indeed. Did you enjoy it, what he was doing? I know there wasn't really much to it, at least in the moment there, but did you like seeing him rock up and knock people out?
Well, there's always that surprise factor, isn't there? Seeing him to rock up in these places with his big long brown coat on, just clotheslining people, looking in great shape. But if it's going nowhere, where, how far can your interest go?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. There comes a certain point where you go, well, we'll never know.
It was AJ Styles. That's what
it was. AJ Styles.
It was going to be AJ Styles, clean in the middle of the ring. He wasn't, but he might. No, he wasn't.
You never know.
He wasn't.
You genuinely don't know, though, do you?
He wasn't. We're not going to sit here and say that was a truthful thing,
but it could have happened. It could have happened.
But it didn't. Right, tag team flavoured news from last night's Raw, which you might have missed if you skipped the talking bits, because it happened there. There was a segment between, it was Grayson Waller, and the New Day. So Grayson Waller has sort of been stood by the side of the New Day, after the New Day was sort of like talking in his ear in backstage segments for many months now, just in the background of shouting, watching someone else do an interview, and they're like, and then that's how the things have developed here, Andrew.
Yeah, and he's called himself Big G now, right? As well. What a guy.
Because it rhymes, right?
With
Big E.
No.
Who used to be in the New Day.
Well, guess who's not in a tag team anymore?
Right.
It is Austin Theory. So, as Ross mentioned, we sort of learned of the split yesterday by a passing comment by Grayson Waller in that backstage segment with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. It's also said in that Austin Theory is injured and that A-Town Down Under is formally done before the Aussie offered himself up to join the New Day, as mentioned, to be Big G.
We should say as well, there's no word if there's like a legitimate injury when it comes to Austin Theory. More, is he not, or is he legitimately, or is it a fake stuff off the back of Seth Rollins?
I don't know. I don't know. I hope this is working towards something, because I genuinely do.
For Austin Theory?
For Austin Theory.
Do you think the ship has sailed somewhat?
No, I don't. I think because, you've put some matches here, and it's these ones, also on Raw, to be honest, on the main roster, but on main event as well, he's been getting some brilliant crowd reactions, and I think there was something really organic happening there, which is something that we've wanted for Austin Theory, I feel like, in quite a while. You know, he was handpicked to be Vince McMahon's special boy, and I think that always sort of like cast a shadow over him, you know, being great, and us not really seeing that for a little while. And now that something started to bubble there, and we're getting something, and they teased the split between A-Town Down Under for about a year or so.
No, that started when George Hackenschmidt made his debut in professional wrestling.
Sorry.
On that same show where George Hackenschmidt made his debut, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller were like, I don't quite like you. Let's split up. And then they've been teasing it ever since.
Yeah, they have, and I just think there's something there. Is it not something that you would want to see personally? You're not too fussed?
Yeah, the more the time's gone on, I guess there's no faith in Austin Theory as a performer in terms of being a singles act.
I think there is.
He looked like he was getting a push. Obviously, he beat John Cena at WrestleMania. It's easy to forget.
He did, yeah, but
that was 2 years ago.
Again, that was sort of still within the shadow of, I feel like, him being the chosen one by Vince McMahon. I genuinely think there's something there. You watch segments of Austin Theory backstage or interacting with fans, and he seems like the most genuine, nice guy. And I think there's something there that maybe they could tap into for a proper babyface.
So I guess there's more breaking news on the news video here. Andrew Hodgkinson has a poster of Austin Theory above his bed.
I've been saying this for a while, and I used to say it on the live streams as well. I think there is genuinely something there for Austin, and I might get absolutely ripped to shreds in the comments. I don't mind. That's just my opinion, but I think there is something there, and I think the organic growth that we've seen and the pops that he's had on main event as well shows that there is a little bit of interest there.
Just in case you were wondering, their last tag team match on Raw was back in March against the Usos. Then in terms of a tag team match for A-Town Down Under in general was in June against the War Raiders after a little stretch of main event appearances. But they are no more. They were together for just about 2 years on the nose. They got together in August of 2023 officially. And there we go. That's that. They are no more. We can't move on.
Can we?
Yes, we can.
Okay, we
Closure.
can move on.
Thank you for watching. There'll be something coming up on this channel later on tonight. I always should ask what it is, but I never do. But you'll see it go live because it always does around about the same time every day, doesn't it?
Yeah, about 6:45.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so just keep your eyes peeled. We'll be there. See you soon. Ta-da!